Good evening. Welcome to your Ass Hurts News Network, coming to you live from the tip top of Cock Tower Square with your host, Sergeant Friday. Sarge, how you doing?
I'm doing. Hanging in there, coping,
Yeah.
dealing, loving life.
Well, there you go. That's what it's
I
all
mean,
about.
how much better can it get?
Well, I don't know. I'll ask you tomorrow.
got me a hair appointment for Friday to get my hairs trimmed. And what else? No roof nothing to do until next Tuesday, I guess. So I got Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday off. Very nice, very nice. Yeah, life is awesome. What about Clue? Is her hand fixed yet? Or is she still a one-armer?
It's unwrapped, and other than being a little stiff, her finger seems to be healing. So
that's awesome.
She got to go to physical therapy twice a week, and I told her if she just showed up her ass 3 times a week, she could save herself a trip to the doctor's office.
You have to go to physical therapy to learn how to move your finger?
You do.
That's what they tell you.
Fucking insane.
No shit.
Don't get me started on the fucking medical industry.
Yeah, okay, all right.
That's a conversation for another fucking show.
Dude, everything we're connected to in the modern world is just chaos. Common sense doesn't apply, and everybody screams like that. And everybody says that thinking they're the one with it, and that just isn't true. Critical thinking, everybody screams they're critical thinkers, and that clearly isn't true. And 5.62 billion people later, and we're fucking surrounded, Cletus.
Yeah.
What up, Lucky? We're just surrounded, man. Right? It's a target-rich environment, so to speak.
It is hard to fucking look amongst the world and see anything that makes really good fucking sense.
Here's what don't make sense to me. Lucky says, Lucky came in the room waving hi. So I post hi back, and I get, YouTube rejected your comment. This usually means they think it's spam. Try changing it a bit. So then I had to go down and put in there, hi, Lucky. But now my reply and hi comes so further down from where he said it that he may not even realize I said hi back. Every night I'm considered spam on my own channel.
Oh, that's fucking funny.
How about the language I use? Doesn't that offend you too? Apparently it doesn't. But me saying hi is it violates some kind of service agreement or something.
It's happened to Clue before, where she won't be able to chat in her own fucking show.
This happens every night. Now I changed what I said as they recommended, so I put in hi, Lucky, instead of just hi, and it allowed it to go through. So I now can only reply to you in the chat room based on YouTube's approval of the statements I make. But I can sit here and tell you, Lucky, you dumb motherfucker, and they have no problem with that, Lucky. Right? That's acceptable, but woe be me if I say hi. Holy fuck, bro. Oh, God, do we live in a wonderful fucking time.
Oh, we no, we don't. We live in a fucking, I don't know. What you said, you were watching a little bit of Clue's show today, so the one thing you didn't see at the very beginning, I'm assuming you didn't see the part about the suicidal robot in South Korea that was overworked and stressed.
No. Is it true? Is this true?
Yeah. It was a city official. It was a robot that worked for the city government that circled at the top of a set of stairs and then threw itself down the fucking stairs because of emotional fucking distress.
You're joking?
I swear. I as far as I know, this is 100% serious.
Well, can I just say something?
What?
Now, I pointed this out to somebody today. It came up. This shows you exactly what AI is. It's not sentient. Okay. It probably was looking for results on how to mitigate stress or how to mitigate overloaded work conditions. And it probably came across that Apple factory in China where people were jumping off the fucking roof and killing themselves. And in order to prevent that, instead of cutting their hours and raising their wages, they took chain link fence and bolted it to the building at an angle, so that if you were to jump, it would be like a safety net.
Yeah.
And the fence was far enough built out from the building with the poles that you couldn't jump far enough to out jump the fence's distance, right?
Yeah.
But their solution was suicide. Maybe this AI, this algorithm control, that's what it is. It's algorithms that are controlling these devices. It's not intelligence. It's just algorithms written by humans. And they must have given it unfettered access to the internet, and it came across what was appropriately fucking deemed its solution, which was kill yourself.
it was the most bizarre fucking thing I think I've ever seen. We saw it last night before we laid down, and I'm just sitting here just in complete fucking awe at this. Like, this cannot be fucking real. But as far as I can tell, it's legit. So
that's fucking awesome, bro.
Yeah.
Our world is so crazy, even our technology wants out.
Right, yeah.
We've told it too much. We've given it too much knowledge about what and who we are, and it's like, no, I'm not helping this fucking bunch of cretins. Fucking crazy bastards.
There's just so many jokes built into that fucking story that it's unbelievable.
Well, at least it didn't go on a murderous rampage, so that's a plus.
Yeah, well,
right.
If that story is true, I mean, quite honestly, how far away from that are we?
Well, it's going to come across them articles, man. You better keep it away from the Brian Koberger case. You know what I'm saying? You better restrict that algorithm from searching unfetteredly across the fucking the gray matter we call the internet, right?
Yeah.
Unbelievable, man. And the problem with the internet is your solutions, like you have to ask questions with a specificity to get the truth. And the problem with that is if you're able to create that kind of a specific question, you kind of already know the fucking truth, right? Yeah. And so those that don't know the truth, that are out there looking, will never find the truth. It's interesting how and I always said there should be college courses for internet searching, because that's the key to the information. It's all there. But a basic question like, is global warming real, can't be answered by asking that question. You cannot get an honest answer for that question, right?
Well, I would say instead of a college course on internet searching, maybe with every college graduation, provide a copy of the Encyclopedia Britannica or whatever encyclopedia set of your choosing.
But go back to when man wrote his information down, right?
Right, yeah.
Now you could change the definition of any word simply by going to Wikipedia. I'm fucking reliving an amazing fucking time. An amazing time. Now I know you're not real big up on the assassination attempt. I find that word amusing to be written as assassination. ASSASSINATION. And it seems completely or deliberately misspelled that way. I don't know why it's spelled that way, but it seems quite incredible. Did you know it was spelled with the two, the ass? Did you know that?
I did know how it was spelled, but I'd never really dissected its spelling because I'm above the age of 5. Wow, that word's got 2 asses in it. How about that?
You never noticed that?
No, I can't say that I have.
And you're my co-host. This is the fucking quality of brain matter I fucking chug around with, folks. It's like I'm a 1-hour man in a foot race.
Look, motherfucker, one of us has got to be a grown-up, okay?
Well, the first word I taught my daughter to speak was Mississippi, because at the end it says PPI, right? Like PPI, right?
Yeah.
And I remember that as a kid, that kind of amused me. And so that was the first word I taught my daughter. She used to always get down to the end and go PPI, like she was all like she was saying something bad. You know what I mean? So that's why I noticed ass in the word assassination. I didn't know it made me 5. I think that's a bit.
Okay,
Eight.
13.
Okay, 13 is better.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I probably knew at 5 anyway, because I was reading novels back then. I used to love to read constantly. But anyway, I was talking to you about it earlier, and folks, at this point, when it comes to our assassination on Trump, it is as much information as we have right now, and all you're going to get, it confirms 1 shooter, 8 shots, 1 return shot, 8 shells alongside the dead guy on the roof, 8 shell casings, I should say. So for those of you that are still on the fence, or you want to run down these fucking ignorant rabbit holes of multiple shooters, multiple guns, multiple locations, go have an orgy. If you want to deal with multiples, leave this case alone. Cleta?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I'm amazed at the amount of valuable information that we have and how it really hasn't changed since day one.
No, it's been exactly what we witnessed.
I mean, I'm absolutely fucking blown away that that's really all the valuable information we have is what we could see with our own fucking eyes and hear with our own ears that day.
Yeah, and yet everybody in between that, well, even now that this information is put forward, nobody's going to believe it. Well, he's part of the government. He's a liar too. He's in on it. Yeah, what the fuck? The fucking cockroaches under your fucking neighbor's fucking couch are in on it too. You know, that's the funny thing with when people these rabbit holes makes everybody guilty, and therefore, like for instance, has the FBI done bad things that look definitely a criminal? Yeah, they have, but that doesn't mean everything they do is that way, right?
Yeah.
And I think this is the biggest con that a lot of streamers, a lot of you 5.62 billion fucking empty-headed motherfuckers don't get, is the best con is always enshrined in truth. You dumb motherfuckers.
Well, the best con is the fact that our government has spent 3 days kicking the shit out of people, and again, we have the same information that we had the day it happened.
Right, and yet over all of these days, how many different theories have come forward? How many arguments have there been over these theories? Because these people are too fucking stupid to believe their lying eyes and their ears, right?
Yeah,
and it's called peak. What is this guy's name? I fucking copied it and held it on. I hope I held it. Paste. Peak prosperity. Anybody that listens to that guy at peak prosperity, you probably also don't know it, but you can literally fucking bend over and suck your cock or lick your own pussy. You don't know it, but give it a try, because that's the kind of fucking person you ought to be if you listen to that fucking jerk off, right? You want to find self-pleasure, okay? Would do you better, would do you more, would make you a better person if you were capable of that fucking act than listening to peak prosperity and any other jerk off like that. These conspiracy theorist motherfuckers that charge you, send you to the fucking pay sites and create rabbit hole stories that are fucking more fake than the rabbits don't even want to be part of that hole. Okay. Unbelievable.
well, and what I'm just sitting here evaluating is it kind of sounds like Congress and this 3 days of wasted fucking time, but lots of outrage being shown is nothing more than the food for the conspiracy theories.
Correct.
Because I haven't watched it, but you and I have had a few conversations, and every time I'm just like, again, I don't fucking understand the point of it. I don't care that the guy had a collapsible fucking stock on his weapon. What fucking difference does that make? It fired bullets.
And it fucking killed a fireman and wounded 2 people and a president.
Yeah.
No, that's what I mean. And the facts of the matter is the only facts that are left, like those 2 guys, based on what I understand from today's hearing, they were requested to leave that room and they left that roof unguarded. And there was supposed to be a team on that roof and there wasn't. So there is some fucking chaos here. And that's what I want to know. I want to know the operational plan, how it was set up, who approved it, who gave the orders. Why were those men requested to come out onto the grounds when their specific assignment was protect the roof? Like I said last night, I don't object to you being in an air-conditioned room that overlooks that roof. I don't have a problem with that. You could have made that decision on your own. But when they asked you to go look for a suspicious suspect, in fact, your job was to do just that from the fucking roof. You need not be pulled out to wander the grounds. Who gave that order? These are things that you could create conspiracies out of, but these are actual legitimate fucking honest questions we need answers to. If you want, I mean, is our government, did it fail from a lack of qualifications? Like everybody attacking that one woman that's short. I think that's insulting. That woman's job wasn't to walk alongside Trump and protect him while he's walking between the plane and the fucking car. Wasn't a woman's job. But she did take and throw her fucking body over him. All 5'4" of her were exposed to the same bullets that were shooting at Trump. But yet nobody can see the woman that way. We got to turn her into our enemy. They all need 6 foot tall guys. But the bottom line is, Secret Service assignments, there's many different tasks. Someone's got to drive the fucking car. Someone's got to man the sniper rifle, and everybody in between, right, Cletus? So
Yeah,
how the fuck we beating up on that poor woman that threw herself on top of Trump?
I don't know about beating up on her, but my thoughts on it are, I don't disagree. Right, there's a role for anybody that's capable of filling that role, but
Right.
being a physical obstruction to danger doesn't seem to fit the bill for somebody that's 5'4".
But is she capable of shooting fire downrange? She's got one of the best marksmanship records of all the people.
Well,
there.
I mean, and I don't disagree with that. I don't know what all beating up on her there's been, right? That's
No, people have been making
thought.
fun of her and then attacking the Secret Service. Why would they assign him to his personal duty? And the truth is they didn't. She wasn't a person that walked Trump between different areas. So she was never she would be way out in front of the group, scanning to make sure things were clear. But she wasn't one of the bodies that stood near Trump to take a bullet. She was out in front of the group. So my point is, this woman had a specific task on that security detail that did not include what people are saying it includes. That's the problem. And yet, rather than look at that little woman jumping up the fucking cover of Trump and seeing her as a person that's doing her fucking job, that's heroism. No, people got to immediately start saying she's a piece of shit. She's too short to be there. She shouldn't be there. And this is what I mean by how dumb these fucking people on the internet are. Everybody has got to be your enemy, and everybody's got to be a conspiracy theory, and that shit's just insane, right? Do you have a problem with that woman walking down the 20 feet in front of Trump down a red carpet to make sure things are clear? Do you have a problem with her doing that at 5'4"?
I don't have a problem with her doing that. Do I question the decision to put somebody 5'4" as a physical obstruction to danger for somebody that's 6 foot tall? Yeah, I got a little bit of a problem with that. That's not on her. If that was her job she was assigned to, then so be it.
It wasn't the job she was assigned to. You can't find her in any detail doing that. That's what I'm trying to say to the listener, is that there's a position for everybody, and there's an ass to put in it, okay, for all those positions.
Right.
Yeah, there were 2 women next to him when he got to the truck, and you notice what they did? They walked alongside of the truck, Heather. Those women didn't get in there as a security protection for him in the truck. They stayed outside the truck. Yes, they did interact with the incident. The all clear was given. Yes, that one woman looks like an idiot that she couldn't put her gun in the holster. I don't object to that. But again, we create conspiracy theories and reasons to go down these rabbit holes on issues that have nothing to do with the assassination attempt. And it doesn't mean, and this is the point, that observation has nothing to do with whether there was a corrupt conspiracy to set Trump up. That woman's presence has nothing to fucking do with that. And the reason I can say that is nobody is looking to see if there was a conspiracy amongst the fucking people that gave the orders, assigned the details. We're still talking about a woman, a water tower, and multiple gunshots from multiple guns. That's the majority of the conversation about this case.
And at the end of the day, nobody's demanding a fucking assessment. We're all just watching the shit show of questions thrown at people that should be ensuring an assessment is fucking made. Like, I'm just, I don't know. I don't know, Sarge.
Well, I just think, unfortunately, rather than being objective, folks, as you take the fair-minded assessment and you walk forward with that. And that fair-minded assessment, okay, you should apply to any situation until the fair-minded assessment no longer holds, because facts show you that it's not a that fair-minded assessment has been destroyed. You have to, you can't go in there with this predisposition of guilt or innocence. You can't look at something knowing that, yeah, your government agencies are corrupt, but you can't always put on the glasses of corruption to view everybody through those lenses. You still have to go in, even knowing you're dealing with corrupt people. You still must go in with a fair-minded assessment and work forward from there.
And force them to produce an assessment, their assessment, and then kick the shit out of them for anything in that doesn't make fucking sense.
Right.
But force them to provide a full picture when it's their job to do so, instead of kicking the shit out of them daily for no benefit. Like it's just the most asinine thing I've seen.
Carrie, I want to address Carrie. Carrie, I wouldn't wipe my fucking ass with Chris Martin's face. That motherfucker, I'd spit on him and kick him in the dick and send him right down the fucking road. That motherfucking dude is a piece of shit. And he's got good people like you believing his wives' tales. One shooter, 8 shots, 8 casings found next to the shooter. I don't give a fuck about water towers, milk cows, roosters, or fucking Mars. I only care about what we have been verified to know. Okay? When we know, based on the end of testimony today, that there were 8 casings next to a shooter that shot 8 rounds. All of them rounds went downrange, and they know where 7 of them went. 2, 3, 4. 3 went by Trump, 2 in a victim, 1 in a victim, and 1 killed a victim. So all of the bullets are basically accounted for about 1 or 2. And that guy is a piece of shit for taking people down that conspiracy road. It's called Peak. What the fuck's the name of his show? I already said it once. It's another. I'm gonna have that Central Scrutinizer fucking issue again. Peak Prosperity. This guy isn't worth his own fucking weight in shit. If you could buy stuff with shit, he wouldn't be worth his weight in shit. That motherfucker, or anyone like him with these multiple fucking shooters. I have no quarter for people like that.
Have you seen the body cam footage from the helmet cam footage from the roof?
No.
You haven't seen it?
No.
It's fucking. I mean, I don't really see a whole lot of use in it, but the one thing that I did find funny was they're talking about the window where the two guys you said left the room, and they're talking about that, and they're like, "Yeah, go over and look in that window and holler for Greg." He's the sniper that was stationed there, and I'm sitting there like, "Oh, I bet that motherfucker's up there now, isn't he?" Now that gunshots have rang out, now he's back in the fucking spot where he was assigned. I'm like, yeah, he said, go holler for Greg. I was like, what the fuck? It's unbelievable.
I want look, Carrie. I want you to know I'm directing my indignation at that guy, Chris, not you. And that's why I said you're a victim of false information. I don't care what CNN is saying. I don't care what Chris is saying. What I care about is what I could see with my own eyes, and what has been given out from an official investigations. And I don't care if the people reporting this are the biggest criminals you've ever heard of. These facts are going to have to be substantiated. And so the fact that they're standing their ground and telling us that there were 8 casings, that he had an AR-15, that the young man on the roof is the shooter, that all 8 shots rang off from that roof, you have to accept that. This fucking jerk off, Chris, and every other jerk off like him are taking internet pictures and taking audio that they're downloading from the internet, and they're trying to create stories out of it. And people are buying these stories because that person is selling you his credentials. Listen, I'm an ex-crackhead fucking moron, okay? But I've got 30 years on the side of not being that. That's where I come up. Now I've got my intelligence. Not from college. Not because I'm some fucking jerk off that claims they have a PhD like Chris does. No. And I'm a common sense guy, literally common sense. When I see people get shot in the direction from the roof, I accept that the shots came from the roof. Don't you, Cletus?
Yeah.
Huh? Show me proof.
when I see things that document it and show it, basically the plausibility of it, and then I'm seeing it in photos and videos and things like that. I got no reason to fucking doubt it. It makes sense. It adds up. Why would I question it?
Correct.
Until there's a fact presented that puts it into question. You know what I mean?
That's common sense, what you just laid out there. It's exactly how that's how, when I review any criminal case, remember, we've done this before, like in the beginning with Chris and with Sebastian gone missing. We did it with the KC3. We did it with Donna Eyes, you, me, Clue, on Discord talking. And we almost always, like you brought up that other story about that dude that tortures people.
Yeah.
And while you're telling me that, and I'm telling you how I see it, you're like, yeah, Clue sees it. I was like, Clue sees it like this. Clue see it like that. He's like, yeah, she does. She saw it like I saw it, right? And that's because we do apply common sense to what we're seeing and what we're reading. It's not that hard to do. You start with the facts given, and then you add facts as they come, and you have to accept the picture this data is painting until and unless something comes in and contradicts it. And if that doesn't happen, regardless of the outcome, regardless of the image that's produced, it is what it is. Move on to something new. Fair enough?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
That's why when you say, like, I'm not up to speed on the assassination, I'm sitting here like, I mean, it kind of seems like I am. I'm as up to speed as what we have facts of that are pertinent. You know what I mean? Like, it just, I've yet to hear anything that makes a fucking bit of difference to me.
No, and I can tell you that the only reason that I focused on this, okay, is because all politics stuff, all crime stuff, all surrounds these conspiracy these big clicks like that fucking jerk off. I'm going to paste his name in here. You guys send him a copy. Somebody cut this out and send it to his personal email. Hey, Chris, you stupid lying motherfucking clickbait asshole. Cut it out with your water towers, you fucking dickless wonder. Cletus?
Tell him how you really feel, sir.
Yeah, I was thinking of actually inviting him over for pastries after. The damage that these people do, they don't look at him. Here's the worst part. He most likely is a highly capable, highly intelligent person that's chosen the path of fucking making money by clicks and creating these fucking kids. He probably convinced himself that this is true, rather than just stick with the truth and move on and cover more and more stuff, and then come up with solutions so that we can get down to the bottom of this. If whoever made the mistakes on this detail, like you said, they need to be fired. Yes, they should have been fired at the end of the day. The minute a superior showed up, they should have all been fired. Fair enough?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. That's what we should be clamoring for, not water towers.
Well, and we should be, again, I've said it 100 times, but we should be fucking telling the people involved in these congressional hearings that at the end of the day, the fucking we don't need them to beat the shit out of the people that should be providing an assessment. We need them to be beating the shit out of the people to provide the assessment, not to answer their fucking questions, because at the end of the day, they work for us. Them finding out about it or hearing it on fucking TV in some official fucking room doesn't mean shit to me. Give me a full summary of what the fuck happened and let me read it. And then go ask the fucking questions about the shit that don't make any sense. Then we can actually see people that are elected officials in, exercise some type of ability at fucking rationalizing and reading. You know what I mean? Like, anybody can sit up there and ask a fucking question and yell at somebody, but can you make them provide what the public fucking needs ultimately to see?
Right. And these congressmen, folks, you think they're on your side? They're not. They're there to help continue and perpetuate these conspiracy theories. We don't want this to turn out to be another Kennedy type assassination or investigation. Why do you got to bring John F. Kennedy into this? I don't understand. Is it possible that there was more than one shooter? I guess, but that was dispelled today. Move on. Move on to something else. Is it possible that lady was that only went up to Trump's hip and she was his personal walk beside bodyguard? No, it isn't. But you can keep believing that that's what she was fucking doing because you're an idiot. Not you, Cletus. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I got you.
It's this kind of shit that we get brainwashed by. We don't even realize we're being brainwashed. Where's the solutions from this big fucking? Let me post his fucking name here again because I can't remember it. Fucking peak prosperity. The only peak prosperity that's fucking going on is Chris Martinson's pocketing your fucking money. That's what's going on. And he's telling you in his title, peak prosperity. He's stealing your money, creating these fucking stories that are convincing, that are backed up by his credentials. And the amount of followers he has must make him fucking smart. Oh, Cletus, I can't take it no more. These are the people that lead the charge on the internet to the 5.62 billion morons. People like Chris. They're their fucking teachers, man.
I wonder how hard it is to migrate to Mexico and become a Mexican citizen.
I don't think you're getting far enough from the technological connection. You want to get away, go to Alaska. Ain't no one going to go look for your ass in the cold, brother. Not in today's day and age. We're all too fucking pussified. You're safe up there.
Oh, fuck. I don't know about it. It's absolute fucking insanity. Absolute insanity to me.
Yeah, that was confirmed today, Bama. He had very little social media content, very few friends. And he had encrypted apps, and they've gotten into a couple of them, and they found the cache of pictures that don't really provide any rhyme or reason towards the crime that he executed. They do know that 2 hours before the event, his drone was in the air 600 feet from the event. So they do know that on the day of the event, he was surveilling it with a drone. They don't know what he was watching. But
I can give you a pretty goddamn good guess. You know?
No, I mean the director explained it very well. What was available to him to see with that drone from his position, he was far enough back that he could not only see a direct line of sight to the stand,
right.
But from 600 feet away from the podium, he could also see everything that would be behind him as a shooter.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So no, he gave us an explanation to the value of the drone to the shooter, but he can't tell you that he didn't record it and save what he was recording. He can only confirm the drone was there, the drone was used, and it did fly a pattern that was to observe the grounds where Trump was going to speak. That's confirmed.
Yeah.
But you can't blame the guy for not knowing what the shooter watched because the shooter didn't fucking save it. It wasn't a recorded video.
No, I mean, but I don't know. Again, I don't really even know what the value in that is.
Well, is there foreign actors? Was he assisted by others? There's a lot of unanswered questions that should be examined, and part of that would be what's on those encrypted apps. And here's another thing too, folks. There's a company out there that actually bought his. Remember, did you say that? Someone said they bought his metadata.
They bought his metadata?
Yeah, and this is true. You can do this, and I didn't know this. Well, what kind of a free society sells all your personal movements for a few dollars? What kind of a society that honors individuality and gives you personal freedom and protections? Also then provides through businesses the availability for somebody to buy your fucking records of phones that can be recorded at your house, at where you work, and follow you. What kind of fucking world do we live in this country where that's available to a commercial business to buy and track your movements? They don't even need your phone number. Listen, they don't even need your phone number.
Some fucking user agreement, Sarge.
I know, and that's exactly my point. Yeah, you got me, but you're right. That's why I've always railed against your user agreements, because that one thing would change the dynamic of everything these big corporations are doing to us.
I mean, so back to the point of the drone footage, right? And could there be other people involved in all of this? Fair enough, right? Fair enough. At the end of the day, to me, the thing that's most important is figuring out how Secret Service or whatever security detail was there, how that failure occurred and why. That, to me, would be the most important thing, because you may have the exact same pitfalls in every day since then, and don't even realize it because you haven't done a full fucking assessment on what the fuck went wrong. Doing the criminal investigation on him I don't disagree. It should be done in conjunction, but finding out how we failed internally in Secret Service would be the fucking question I would have first.
And that's an ongoing. That's being investigated as well. He's got a 2-tier investigation. So, look, I think it's valuable to understand if this kid was interacting with anyone else, because to me, there's so many coincidences of his presence in that crime scene, and so many observations of his presence in the crime scene, that it doesn't look like an accident. It looks like as if security were moved, or security were not put in places that gave him an access that he was aware of. Right? I mean, how the fuck did this kid never even give a second thought to guys being in the windows behind him on that roof? That'd be the first thing I'd be worried about, climbing up on that roof, the building behind me. There were cars in the parking lot. Clearly, there were people on that property. Where they're located was unknown to the shooter, most likely. But if you're going to climb up on a building and there's windows behind you with office space, aren't you going to want to know if there's someone in there, Cletus?
Yeah, you would think.
So that's what I mean. It's almost like, so who ordered those guys to leave at the period of time they left, which is when he accessed the building to shoot Trump?
Well, but at the same time, here's my problem with that. Right, that would be going down the road of assuming that the guy is skilled at what he's about to do and didn't just get extremely fucking lucky to make it as far as he did. Because, at the end of the day, he didn't achieve his ultimate goal. Right, he didn't go up there with a fucking scope. Number one,
I think Christopher Wray said he believes there was a scope on that rifle.
Well, based on the body camera footage,
okay,
where you can actually see it,
that's why I'd like to see that, because he was saying he doesn't remember, but he thinks there may have been a scope on the rifle. He can't be sure.
I would have to look at it again, but based on just the quick glance I took of it, I don't think there was a scope on it. I think there was a sight, a red dot sight on it, but it was not a scope. I don't think it was a magnified scope at all.
All right. No, that's fine. And again,
my point is, I don't think the guy was skilled at what he was doing. So assuming that he would be looking for somebody sitting in that window is, kind of that's a jump, in all fairness. Because
man, all the pre-surveillance, all the staking out of the scene, the drone. I don't know, Cletus, if I can accept that this kid was just not up to and not only that, if Trump's head didn't move, he would have killed Trump. He had him in his sights, red dot or not. I mean, that's just unequivocally true. And you combine all the other things that they're sharing. He had bombs in his car that were on a remote detonator. He had a bomb in his house that was also remote detonatable. There's a lot of shit that goes around this kid. So the idea that he was unskilled or unable, I just can't accept that. That's why I think it's worth investigating his contacts. Did he have foreign influences?
Oh, I'm not saying it's not worth investigating. I'm not saying I agree that it needs to be investigated. But I think the first priority should be figuring out where the security procedures and policies and protocols fell short. Because at the end of the day, right, let's say that he was allowed in and shouldn't have been. That shit would be discovered pretty quick if that were your first and foremost focus, or at least what you put your priority on. Because the way I see it is every day, more people that the Secret Service are protecting are going out in public. So every time they go out in public, there is an opportunity for that same failure to occur and this shit to happen again. If there's somebody conspiring, it is secondary to making sure that shit is secured as it should be.
Well, it can't be secured if, for example, he was outside the security zone of the rally. He never entered the rally proper. He was outside of the rally boundaries.
Right, and that's a mistake in my opinion. The fact that that building is outside of the secured boundary is
what about? But it goes even further than the building that he was observed. So here's what I'm trying to say is the failings on not approaching that guy are evident. Who gave those orders? Who refused to do anything about it? Was there anybody refusing? How did they deal with it when they were told of a suspicious man 61 minutes earlier? Why wasn't that addressed? And who's the person that maybe it was addressed and they just couldn't find him again? But it doesn't sound like that. People have got pictures of him. There's other sightings of him. So, Mike, that's what I mean. We need to know who the fuck these agents were and what orders that they were given and what prevented them from actually getting this kid before. There's a failure here somewhere. And was the failure, is it an intentional failure? That's why I'm saying all this encrypted shit, all this secret data, all this traveling that he did. Is there someone in the secret? Are there people in the Secret Service that allowed these holes to exist for him to walk through? Because it seems like he approached it with that kind of confidence. The guy's fucking flying a drone over an area where a president's going to be a couple hours before the fucking event. They know that, but that guy doesn't get fucking stopped. I don't know what you got to do to become fucking questioner. I mean, maybe if I say something in the stream, they'll come kick my fucking door down. Right?
I if I'm being honest, I don't really suspect to ever get a completely a full understanding of what the fuck happened from any official capacity. I just don't. I at this point, from what we've seen so far, I got zero confidence that we'll ever fucking get what we deserve to know. If I'm being honest.
Can I say that I weigh heavily upon that opinion? I think that there is a lot of value in what you're saying. But I think that's also our fault because we allow ourselves to get caught off on these fucking rabbit holes that make us all look like a bunch of idiots. And even the representative asking questions they're not asking the right questions. Well, because they're idiots that are following the wrong narrative.
Well, I don't know that they're idiots as much as they're using the opportunity to virtue signal in a fucking campaign year or in an election
there you
year.
Go.
Right?
There you go.
Let me make sure that you got the camera on me while I yell at this dumbass who's in charge of the team that, almost allowed a presidential candidate to be fucking killed. Like, let me make sure the world sees my outrage so I get more votes this fall. Like that's about the only value to it. And it's bullshit. It's just absolute bullshit. I would have complete respect for any news agency that said so. I would give them my time to watch another fucking show if they actually said that.
But you know what's funny is what good is the truth when the people that they actually are supposed to are demanding it wouldn't know it if it fucking slapped them in the face like a dead fish.
Yeah, it's
literally right.
No, I mean it's become the chicken and the egg situation, right?
Right. I mean, so who's the idiot? The congressman or the fucking 5.62 jerk-offs out here?
I would say the 5.62 billion because we're the ones that fucking believe that we're the ones that put these people up on a pedestal and cling to the words that they say on fucking camera instead of saying shut the fuck up and listen to us.
It's a shit show. And the bottom line is it's a shit show, folks, because we don't do anything to push back. We don't do anything but complain about the shit show. And the whole purpose I even got back involved with is to trying to point out to people just the nature of the stupidity we fucking bathe in. It's almost like who could be the most ignorant? Well, there was somebody under his podium blowing him. They shot at him too. I can't even wait to hear this fucking somebody. There's got to be another conspiracy theory we haven't heard yet. And everybody jumps on board a bit, but the questions that matter, the questions that should lead to people being held to account, the questions that should lead to the Secret Service was just a bunch of fucking idiots, or they had unqualified personnel, or they had lazy, whatever it is. They don't have to be connected to the shooter to give him access to that roof. That conspiracy doesn't have to be at all. But we need to know what the nature of the failures were so that those people could then be held to account. And rather than focus on that, we're always focused on the jerk-off conspiracy theories because Dan Bongino said so.
I got a question. I know Trump's spoken a few times since this happened. Has he said anything that you're aware of in regards to the investigation and the congressional hearings or anything? Then I stand with that sign that made it to local news here. Fuck them both, 2024. Like if you want to be the president that I vote for, fucking call out this bullshit. You almost fucking got killed. A fucking guy in the crowd lost his life. 2 other people were fucking shot. Why aren't you fucking addressing this in your campaign rallies? You said you wanted to drain the swamp. Well, hey, I don't see any murkier fucking water than what we've got right now.
No, he needs to be. All of them need to be held to account. Look at here's, and I like the comment that she's making. But let me just say something. This is where this is the programming that causes brain failure, Heather. Of course, we know that the government has got crooks. They do crooked things. They start wars unjustly. They fucking let rapists come into the country. We know this. There's no question about that. But you still have to take the truth and hide it, because there's no way to lie without hiding a truth. And what a lot of people don't realize is the best con man wraps his con up in truth. And so you can't approach every situation, even when you're looking at known criminals and impugning them as the perpetrators. You can't look at it that way because they're known criminals. That's why we have innocent until proven guilty. But more importantly, you have the ability to think. You have to look at these people involved is honest until you can be shown that what they're telling you in this situation is not honest.
Well, and that's why I jumped a while ago before the show when we were talking about, and you were telling me that guy brought up that the stock on the guy's rifle was collapsible, and I'm like, that okay, that very well may be true, but it has no fucking merit in this story at all. Like, what the fuck?
No, it doesn't, because he can't confirm that it was that allowed him to conceal it.
Right.
There's also a story out there that it was hidden behind the air conditioner. We don't know if that's true.
Yeah.
Right. So you're right. He didn't clarify anything, and he was browbeat by these stupid questions of how do you get the gun on there? And the FBI director at this point doesn't know. And he should have just said that. I have no, and he did. He said, I don't know that. Then the guy started asking questions about the gun. Were the bullets the same? The shells the same? Yes. And blah, blah, and then he threw in there that it did have a foldable stock.
So wait. So we've got a person in Congress asking the FBI director if the shells were the same.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
There were eight shells. There were 8 shells around the shooter.
Oh.
And he wanted to know. He said, so the shells that you found were consistent with the gun used.
So this motherfucker is more worried about shutting down the second gunman theory. And creating a new one all at the same time of a second gunman on the same fucking roof. Yeah. Fuck that guy or girl, whoever it was. Like that's
it was a Republican. That's one of our guys doing his job.
It might be one of your guys. It ain't one of mine. Fuck that. Like I couldn't. This is why I could never fucking do this shit, because I would have said day one, have you got a fucking report for me to read? No. Okay, I'm out. Y'all have fun.
Yeah. Well, April, you don't realize that most of the things you're hearing on YouTube are no better than the fallacies you're hearing from the government or from the news media.
Well,
that's the best thing about YouTube is they're copying what the media does.
That's what I was going to say. I would submit that the conspiracy theories that are circling on them in the media and on YouTube are being fucking fueled by Congress,
and being fueled by the social media fucking people with all the following.
Oh my God!
People just don't know how to think for themselves. And here's a situation where you could see and hear what happened, and you all let that, what's that guy's name? Do you remember his name? Here, I got it saved. This fucking jerk off tell you the water tower was
perspective is what you said.
You fucking took Chris, for fuck's sakes. Are you kidding me? Anybody that knows you should disavow you. I'd be embarrassed to have any kind of personal knowledge of your existence. I'd fucking just forget it. And that's just one of many, many, many. And then all the people that promote him. Okay, like that. There's a law guy that does it. That man, there's a lot of people doing it. Okay. Anyway, yeah, we live in a very fucked up time, and the sadness to me is that all of us think that we're, by not paying attention to the media and listening to what was that guy's name? Here it is again, that fucking jerk off.
Are you talking about Peak Perspectives or Chris Martinson?
Peak Prosperity, Chris Martinson are all one and the same.
Okay.
From what I understand, I could be wrong. Maybe they're two different people, but they're telling the same fucking story, and they look the same and sound the same to me.
Gotcha.
Yeah, man. But that's just one of dozens of these high-powered fucking streamers that are all over X, they're all over Facebook, they're all over fucking TikTok, Instagram, YouTube. You know, they're one of the fucking influencers, and all your influencers. They what the fuck? They couldn't influence a fucking dog to eat food that was starving. Latest.
Well, I've got a fairly light day tomorrow, so I think tomorrow might be the day that I write my email to the White House.
Well, yeah, but she's gone. So
Yeah, but I mean, she's just part of what I wanted to see happen. My email tomorrow will be addressing the circle jerk of the congressional hearing. And why are you occupying these people's fucking time with your questions when you have no information to base questions on? Make them provide a fucking report, then read it and build your questions. If you want to handle this like a fucking, like I don't understand why that logic is so fucking hard to see. But I do understand, because at the end of the day, they're not about getting the fucking answers. They're about getting the attention so that, everybody's looking at them and how good of a job they're doing at kicking the shit out of somebody that may not need the shit kicked out of them.
When I was in politics the first time, and I spent a tremendous amount of time there, and that's where I learned unequivocally that the truth is always there, and it's being hidden with a lie. And when we as a group start to concentrate on things that that action could be taken in one way or another to solve a problem, to understand a problem, we never pay attention to that. The security detail for JFK failed big time. Nobody ever talks about the failure. Why wasn't there a man on the platform on the back of that vehicle? Why weren't there people running right behind it? Why wasn't it going slow? There was a lot of things that you could ask that needed to be addressed and stopped. Now, apparently they decided for themselves to fix themselves, and we didn't have a president shot at again until Ronald Reagan, right? But even there, how could somebody not look around the corner before you let Reagan walk out there like that? The guy just showed up from around the corner, not that far away of a building. He walked out from a corner of a building, started shooting. There's another big failure. So these things can be addressed. These things, people can be held to account. Maybe we can help as a group better the agency or demand the agency be better. But all of these things where there is no evidence to support the even existence of the water tower's involvement, and yet we follow that before we'll follow. We'll attack the short Secret Service woman. We'll go after all of these things that actually have fucking zero to do with any solution that could be applied to the situation. It's almost like running to the fucking to the fucking glaciers, okay, with an ice cube maker to save the earth. That's kind of what we're doing, right? We got an ice cube maker, and we're going to save the 197,000 glaciers that are going to melt and kill us all. That's how we, right?
We're going to sit and watch congressional hearings of elected officials kick the shit out of themselves while we build robots that throw themselves down flights of stairs.
I like that robot. I want to hire it. Is it okay?
Oh, God almighty.
I want to meet that robot.
I wonder if you can buy it for scrap now.
I wouldn't want it for. I would too, and I'd rebuild it. Like that Lee Majors, we can rebuild him. Remember that show? The $6 million man.
Back then with $6 million man. Yeah.
Back then, with $6 million, would buy more than a Hershey's bar. Remember them days?
Yep.
Yeah. Oh, fuck. Hey, let me say they made Camel Toe VP to keep her quiet. No way they'll hand the reins over to her. You guys have no idea the shitstorm you're walking into with this election. I get a kick out of the cocky Trump voter. You fucking people have no idea what you're walking into. A black female. These people have got the most fucking amazing fucking argument to make that because she's black and a woman. They're made up the woman's first thought of the day is to hit the nuclear button and start Armageddon. That's never going to be discussed. She's a black woman. That's all you're ever going to hear, man. I don't give a fuck about Kamala Harris. And I think it's ridiculous for any Trump voter to think he can walk right over her. Remember, on that side of the aisle, being black and a woman matters. Unless, of course, you're a black woman that fucking voted for Trump. But everyone else is fucking cool, right? I mean, you guys, they're a party of hate, and there's no way to sell hate better than him, and he's a racist against a black woman. You have no clue what you're walking into as a voter. You're still delusional, thinking that she don't stand a chance against Trump, and it's a fucking laugh for me. I just think people are just underestimating how you don't. It's like you forget how hateful, bigoted, mean, and fucking deadly the Democrats are. And Trump is just going to win. This assassination attempt doesn't move the needle as much as people would hope it would. Especially now that you have a black woman. All she needs to be now is gay. Divorce her husband and start licking snatch. And that's it. We lost. What do you think, Cletus?
I don't know. I'm caught up in the just the mental process of thinking about Biden's timing of withdrawing from the election and it coming a week after a failed assassination attempt at Trump, and it's like I can't not see the strategy that could exist there. Not to say that it is, but the strategy that could exist.
There's no coincidences in what looks to be a coincidence.
Well, and I mean, it's, okay, so you were unsuccessful, or he survived. He's still in the running. You don't stand a fucking chance, so you withdraw and you put the potentially first black female presidential candidate or president in your spot running against him. I mean, it is what it is.
They planned that from the first time they went after Trump and stole the vote in 2020. Kamala was brought on board. She couldn't even get a single delegate vote in the fucking primary against Joe Biden. So they figured they would set it up as a double whammy to get their 8 years. Joe was lucky to make it to fucking as long as he's made it. They knew that, but they controlled the government from then, right? This is a weekend at Joe's, not a weekend at Bernie's. This is really America is a weekend at Joe's. Joe ain't doing jack, right? Now Joe is out and Kamala's in. And that was always their plan. That ticket was arranged to plan for this event. They may not have had any plan to shoot Trump, but I promise you that they were always going to drop Biden and pick up Kamala. And I suspect that they were always going to do it before the Democratic convention because Joe ain't going to make another 4.
Yeah.
Right? And even if he is going to make him another 4, the bottom line is, how do you beat a black fucking woman?
Yeah.
From a bunch of people that are so hateful and so bigoted and so racist that have got the whole country fucking joining in on them based on color and gender, right? Look how many millions of fucking idiot, hateful cocksuckers there are out there. Those are who you got to fight against, folks, at a polling booth instead of in a fucking ring.
Well, and I mean,
they don't stand a chance in a ring.
If you really think about, like, I haven't watched much, but what I have seen since the assassination attempt is 2 things, right? I've seen a bunch of left-wing fucking nut jobs that are like, next time don't miss and shit along those lines, right? Or I've seen conspiracy theories. And it's like, yeah, I mean, at the end of the fucking day, I don't know. I don't know. I'm seriously considering moving to a fucking deserted area of Mexico and setting up a fucking homestead or something. I don't know.
If it's deserted, then you're going to get visited by alien life.
Oh, fucking hell.
It's
crazy.
We do live in the most insane time. And the bottom line is, folks, it's all our fault. It's all of our doing. Everything you're seeing is a reflection of us. And you want to fucking blame everyone else around you. Christopher Wray's crooked. This guy's crooked. Well, yeah, guess what? So is your son at the oil change fucking place. And you don't even know he's being crooked. But he helps perpetuate the crime when he fills your car with oil from a drum that's marked one thing, and he has no idea if that's really in there or not. Why would he ask? Right? I mean, we're fucking each other constantly. It's not even funny. And then we wonder why politicians lie and do what they do. Well, that's your society. That's who we are. That's the saddest part of all. That's really, I think, the most fucking accurate description of how America has become. What do you think, Cletus?
I can't argue it. I cannot fucking argue it.
And we could change that in a fucking minute if we started acting together on just some simple interests that we all would benefit from. And yeah, man, fuck it. Fucking Sarge don't know. That one lady that came in here, what was her name? Michelle Lee or whatever?
Yeah.
She's way smarter than me, bro. Way smarter. She's in her 2nd year of community college. She's only like 90 years old. And yeah, dude, I can't even hold a candle to that one.
Well, the next time you run across her, you should suggest she run for public office.
She should run. Yeah, that's right. I don't even know what office that may in fact be. Maybe
any.
Imagine putting her in a library that would never be quiet again. Could you imagine her? I read that book. I tell you all about it. Take her fucking head and smack it into the fucking bookend. Shut up. Unbelievable, man.
Like a guy I worked with one time. We were sitting around talking about,
You dumb motherfucker. I had to get you. I've been so lackadaisical and getting you guys have noticed that, right? He's been ducking out. He's been getting old Sarge. I've been abiding my time. And he walked right into it. Sarge does the old hang up. And you want to know what's funny, folks? Is when people say that in many respects I am just an adult fucking child. That's absolutely an accurate description of me. But it's so fucking funny. And I get everybody else to act childlike while they're around me. That's my one secret power that I don't think people that know me even realize. I get you all to act as childish as old Sarge. Usually, I get you to join me. LGBTQ. Yep, that's what you call a lesbian on fire. LGBTQ. Anyway, folks, from Cock Tower in Beijing, China, I bring you Your Ass Hurts News Network. We'll be back again tomorrow at 9. It's always a pleasure. For those of you that have the Constitution to be attacked, insulted, name called, and terrorized, and get your ass hurt, I welcome you back again tomorrow and any day preceding tomorrow. Have a good night.